A short little lecture about hosting. Remember, hosting is how you get your site from the files you're designing on your desktop up to the web. So this is a free web host called BizNF. You could pay for hosting a GoDaddy, something like that. Some of the big hosts that are out there. Again, it's up to you where you get that hosting. I'm just going to use this for demo purposes because it's an easy free host to use. So BizNF, when you log into it, this is your dashboard. Again, hosting, remember, what we're doing here is taking files, connecting a domain, right, to a set of hosted files. So if you're using a free host like this, you will have a section for where your domain management is. You'll have a file manager here. You'll have an FTP manager. We're going to FTP stuff up and down. So typically on any host, it doesn't matter what host we're talking about, whether it's a paid host or free host, anything like that. That's one of the first things you're going to want to set up is an FTP manager or FTP account. So for our stuff, I'm going to want you guys to transfer things to a host, have those websites hosted. You can use BizNF, that's fine. A paid host would be much better and would be much easier to use. So let's just say we're going to use BizNF to do this. How do we do this? First things first, let's go to the domain manager. So in the domain manager, you can create free CoNF domains. Now, yeah, if you're going to pay for a host, a domain and have it actually on the web, like a .com or something like that, that's how you'd want to do that, would be to buy that .com, or at least lease it technically, and then connect your stuff to that .com. Now, for the free host, you can create a subdomain, which is a .co.nf extension, which is basically garbage for SEO. Pretty much everything but the .com is garbage for SEO, but for our purposes, we can use the free ones, right? Now, what you can do, go down here. Now, I have 3 free ones already created, so I'm going to go ahead and delete one of the ones that I've got. This is how you get rid of one you've already created. This is a subdomain. Again, it's a kind of a sub URL that we're going to create so we can put content into it. So let me go ahead and kill that one, and I'll make a new one. So let's create a free CoNF subdomain. And this one is just going to be, I'm just going to use my name and click create. There we go. That subdomain, this is my host. When we do the FTP here in a minute, the host URL. Okay, so I've created a host URL by creating a free CoNF subdomain. All right, so now we want to go back to the dashboard, right? And we want to check our FTP manager. Right? So you make a host or make a domain, and then you check the FTP. Now, this has by default an FTP username already created. This is the admin to FTP username. You could go in if you wanted to in here and reset the password in here so you know what the password is. We're going to need that in a second. Okay. So what you need is what I've just done. You need the host account, right, which is the www.justincussman.co.nf I just created, and I need the FTP username to get something online. So let's go ahead and do it. Let's actually transfer files from our desktop to the web. So if we go in, the program I'm going to be using for this is called FileZilla. FileZilla is a free FTP program that you can go download out there. I'll show you how this works. It's real easy. All right, so here's how it works. Pretty much every FTP program works like this. You have got the host section, which is your URL, www.justincussman.co.nf. Now, if you look, that's exactly what I just created, just to recap here. That's what I just created a minute ago in the domain manager section of BizNF. That is my URL. Okay, so I've got this URL that I'm trying to connect to. If you've bought hosting, it'll be the URL that you purchased with that hosting account. Okay, so that goes into the host section. Okay, the username is your FTP username. That I'm going to get, again, from this section on BizNF that I was just in a minute ago, this FTP username. Copy that, plug that in up top, and the password should be the password you hopefully just reset on your hosting account, or whatever password you use to log into your hosting account. When you've done it correctly, you'll see this little certificate pop up. Just click OK. And you should hopefully, if you've done it right, have access to, there you go, the hosting account folders here. Now, if you've bought hosting from somewhere, you may see a whole big directory, and I'll show you guys some of that stuff later. That says, you know, a bunch of different things. You're going to look for the folder called public HTML, and inside there you will dump your files. I'm going to look for the folder I just created on this free one. There we go. This is now the directory that I'm going to dump my files into. So this is how I get the website online. Is I am now on my URL, justinkussman.co.nf. I'm going to grab, just through my Finder or my browser window, a website, the very simple one that I created in week 1. I've got my index file and my CSS subfolder here. I'm going to grab these and drag these into that folder. The important part here is that the index file is on this main level. So if I go now, since this is online, my website is live. If I go to a browser window and I type in www.justinkussman.co.nf, this shows up, which is my website from page 1 is now live on the web. That is how you transfer something from your desktop to the web, a web host via FTP. Now, the process is slightly different if you've got a paid host, but it's basically the same steps, and you should be able to find any help for that online, or you can message me. I can make another video if you needed it for a specific host, something of that nature. Just let me know. But that's it. That's how to upload something through FTP.